Hey guys, and welcome to Gwent, the Witcher card game. My name is Jaggerus, and today is Fan Friday, which means I'm playing a deck submitted by one of you guys, the viewers. And if you'd like to submit your deck for Fan Friday, you can do so by posting it in the Fan Friday text channel in my Discord, which is linked in the description below. Today's deck comes from a player called Ingsoc, and is a Relicts Nova deck, so it's kind of like a Relict Moonlight Nova deck. So we have Dagon as our leader, along with Woodland Spirit, which we can use to thin out the two Foglets in the deck. Then we have Weaver's Incantation, which we're going to be using to strengthen our Relicts, before hopefully we can then play the Brewis, Whispers, Weavers kind of trio. We then also have a couple of Fiends in the deck, which are also Relics, so those are going to get boosted as well, along with Morvud, who is a Relic. So that will hopefully lead to a decent number of points. Alternatively, we can always use Weavers just to find our Crones and just play them, and that's also a viable strategy. We have Nova as a finisher combined with Ghouls. Then on top of that, we have this Moonlight system. So we have the Sirens to pull the Moonlights out of the deck. Then we have the Werewolves, which we're going to place into the Moonlight in order to boost. And actually, I think that is pretty much it in terms of the kind of combos. We have a couple Cockatrices, which actually reset units, and I think are a pretty underrated card. I'm inclined to think that these are better than you think they are. Then you have Ghouls for finishers. We're going to be eating things like your Fiends. We have a Frightener in here for card advantage. We've got an Abaya, which we can use to clear weather, along with, you know, creating weather and also playing Arrakis Venom. And yeah, that's more or less it for the deck. We've also got a Caretaker. We'll see how that all works out. These are kind of interchangeable cards, things like Caretaker and Abaya and Cockatrice. The rest of it seems fairly core. A couple Slizzards also to help you find the cards you need within the deck, which will help you find Nova. So, without further ado, let's jump into a ranked game and see how this deck performs. And if you like the video, don't forget to leave a like.
Es dead esa crisa.
Okay, so we're up against Eridan. Obviously, we want to mulligan our Moonlights, and actually we also want to mulligan our Ghouls, and if we end up with too many Crones, we want to mulligan those too. Oh, this is a tricky deck for mulliganing. I think we leave one Moonlight in hand and just throw the Foglet, because Foglets are kind of worse in this situation than the Moonlight. We don't actually have any ways of pulling the Moonlight, which is interesting. We don't have the best starting hand, I'm inclined to say. We can thin our Wispuses, but we don't have a lot of Fog. We don't have a way of playing a Siren. Like, potentially a Dry Pass is the best strategy here. As it is, however, I think we want to thin the deck before we do that. And playing the Fog onto the Wild Hunt Rider there is not a bad strategy. Unfortunately, the Foglet's in the Frost. This is just something that happens. We do have Morvud. We can always lock the... we can always lock the Wild Hunt Riders if need be, which is okay. So we're currently down 7. If I play this, we'll be down 20. We can actually catch up with Crones if we do that, right? Because Crones is 20 points exactly. This is actually going to be slightly fewer than what I just said. And this maybe will give us a chance to draw into what we need. But we risk pulling Crones. I don't really mind this situation. There's the pass. So now if we play the Crone, that thins the deck and means that we win on even, actually. So that was a pretty solid strategy. And then we can try and bleed our opponent and thin our deck now going into the second round in order to try and find that Nova finisher. And I think I'm quite comfortable bleeding my opponent here. As long as they can't surpass us and play their leader, it's going to be pretty good. The only problem, like I said, that the state of the hand is not ideal, we'll say. It's not ideal. Because we have no Moonlight. So we have all these cards but no Moonlight. And we also don't have great options for the Slizzard. It's kind of a problem. Caretaker, though, will allow us to return a card and get a new one. So we could Caretaker the Sarah in order to try and find something that we need. We could probably get rid of the Slizzard, actually. Like, I quite like that as a strategy. Because then we can throw this Lizard and hopefully get a Siren. Oh my god, you actually have to be kidding me, Sarah. That feels bad. I'm wondering if this deck just has too many pods that need to come together. So I'm kind of okay to let this happen. The Frost isn't hugely problematic for us. I think we need to play this to thin the deck.
Soon, sisters. Very soon.
Just get these guys on the board. This also strengthens this, which means that it's a good ghoul target. The question really is whether his deck is a weather deck or not. We could also, not a weather deck, a thing deck. We could also pass here. I don't hate the pass. He's played 2 Frost already. We have a buy in hand that we could just clear them. And that would probably be fine actually, because it stops his tempo a lot. So maybe we just play this now. It's an 8-point play, but it really invests into the future rounds, and that's something that's really nice. Because we may have to win a long round just by using things like Moonlight, in which case, generally in this situation, we want to pass. If we pass now, we get a card. We get card advantage. We can always mulligan the Relict, and then we don't have a dead Slizzard. Like, honestly, I think in this situation we're gonna have to mix up our strategy a little bit. Just a little bit in order to actually win the game. We are up 7 points. We need to play 8 points here. He has thinned all of his Frost out of his deck, which I guess is good for him. It's boats. That's actually a good pass then, I would say. Because it stopped him from synergizing with all these Wild Hunt units. Like, he's played so many Wild Hunt units, and then we've just kind of countered that. I want to keep my lock in case he has a Sabbath Imlerith, because that's quite common in this style of deck. Oh, do I throw the Moonlight? If I throw the Moonlight and I don't get a Siren, that's going to be really bad. I think I have to keep the Moonlight. In which case we probably actually throw this guy. Whatever his name is. This guy. Relicts, because we can always pull him is the thing. Anyway, we can play this Lizard and pull the Relict. But if we do that, we can't ghoul the Relict. But we can always ghoul the, what's her name? Sarah, so it's not too bad. Just wondering if he has weather. I think I want to wait with my Moonlight, just in case he has weather. Because if he has weather, then I want to clear the weather with the Moonlight, so we should wait to see if that's the case. Doesn't look like it's the case currently. But again, it is kind of risky. Let's play the Cockatrice. We have a second one, so playing the reset here, I don't mind. We're even points and a card up. So I think we, despite everything, I think we stand a good chance because of round 1 and because of the way we played our spy. Yeah, so I don't think he has...
Would you?
I don't think he has it, so let's play this. We probably should have played it in the middle row. I was a little bit worried about Golden Weather, but if we play it in the middle row, then we don't stack into Igni.
Death comes for you.
And yeah, he doesn't seem to have much, so this is fine. So let's get these werewolves on the board. We want to get the werewolves on the board quickly because we want to benefit from the Moonlight. Although we do have a second one. At the moment he's row stacking, and row stacking means that we could potentially kind of ruin his day, and that would be pretty good.
No escape.
So let's go with... I think we go with the Ghoul here. Eat the 11. I just want the werewolves to get different points, because if they can boost a little bit, I'm not playing into an Igni. There's the Wild Hunt, that's fine. Let's play this now. I maybe could have played it on a different row and used Blood Moon. Which of these has the most boost? Probably this 11 strength guy. I don't think he's going to catch us. So we'll do that. 10-point play is alright. He's got 1 card left. What's it going to be? This is where it is Igni, and then he kills both of my 16s and I lose.
That's the kind of negotiating I understand.
Not enough. So now we can play Blood Moon. There we go. And then we win the game without actually having to play an extra card. Playing against the Wild Hunt deck. And actually having the medium length round in the middle I think really helped us, because like I said, he played so many Wild Hunt units and then it just didn't work out. So even though we drew not perfectly for this style of deck, you know, we didn't get the thinning cards we want early on, I think it went pretty okay. I mean, we managed to win. But we were playing against maybe not a meta deck, so I think it's worth jumping into a second game and trying this out again and just seeing how it works with the mulligan and the kind of consistency of the deck.
Mahakam wasn't built in a day.
Okay, so against Bruver, who since the recent patch can't actually draw any spies. We have Slizzards in hand we don't really want. We have Moonlight, which we also don't want, and Crones. We throw the Moonlight, we throw a Crone, and we throw a Slizzard. And we managed to get a Siren, which is pretty good. Again, no Weavis, which is a little bit annoying, but not necessarily the end of the world. The opening play, we can play the Fiend, and that's pretty much okay. The only problem is by doing that, we do give him a good target if he's playing the Cleaver combo, because he'll just kind of shoot it, which is kind of awkward. Alternatively, we just open with a Frightener. If he passes, we can make 13 points quite easily, so we would play the Crones. So I don't hate this as a strategy, except that we risk drawing into dead cards. I mean, having one Foglet in hand is okay.
Slaughter them to a man!
Okay, so let's fog this. If we can get that weather on the board nice and early, that's good. And then we can look to play our Siren now.
Enough of this farce. Vedrai Enlay!
We can also reset anything that gets particularly boosted, so it's kind of okay.
Come to me.
And then if he does kill the Siren, we can Slizzard another one. And it won't clear the weather necessarily.
I buy those.
Okay, so we're down 23. We need to be able to basically catch him in 2 cards. So at the moment this is fine. We're currently down 7. But we're making, I would say, pretty decent progress. This guy's about to die.
Not afraid? You should.
We can always reset this, and he played it into the fog, surprisingly. So that's pretty good. We could also rain on his parade. That gives us 6 points now, but we'd be able to catch him, like I say, in 1 card, which isn't too bad. Or we just thin our Crones now and close the gap. And I don't hate that, because we want to thin our Crones anyway, because we don't want to draw into them. And this puts us up points. And like I said, we can reset this card, so it's fine. Okay, here comes Bruver. So Bruver no longer draws spies. He can't play Yave enough of this. It'll be a silver or a dwarf, probably a silver. Oh, interesting choice. So we need fewer than 11 points. Let's get this Relict on the board now. Whoop, that was weird. Screen went black for a second. The only problem is this guy's not dead.
Now, how did that incantation go?
And there's fog now, so we're no longer getting so many points per round. We can clear the fog. Gives us 6 points, you know? We probably actually just want to play Morvard here. Then we're basically gaining points at an even cadence. If he has anything particularly boosted, like I said, we have a Cockatrice, so it's pretty much okay. The only issue is we don't have anything in the graveyard. And he doesn't have anything in his graveyard that we would want to necessarily claim. We can use a buyer actually here for some damage. This guy normally is a 7. He's boosted up to a 12, so this isn't a bad Cockatrice target, to be honest. But what we can also do while we're here is do this and kill the Vadermaker, because as soon as we do that, we can now target it, which means we can take it out of the graveyard. So we can thin this Foglet in the future should we need to. And we're also staying ahead while being on even cards, which is pretty good.
Drink this, you'll feel better.
Okay, there is more fog. So we could choose to pass here. And I actually don't hate it. I realize we're not going to win the round. But I don't think it's a huge cost to us. Because we have managed to thin our deck a bit. He's going to have some boosted units, yes. But like I said, we have a Cockatrice. So if he's going to play a Nova, that's not such a problem. The only issue is that, I guess if he's going to play a big Nova, he's got last play. And there's Woodland Spirit. Sweet. So let's throw the Foglet into another Cockatrice. So do I want to thin the deck with Slizzard? I probably do. In which case, what do I want to thin? Probably want to thin a Fiend if we're going to do this. So let's take the pass. I mean, maybe we should have played one of the cockatrices. The other actually issue we have now is that actually no, this can get us a siren and stuff, so it's okay. Right, we definitely throw the Moonlight into a werewolf. So again, no Nova. Like I say, the deck, it kind of feels like it possibly has too many parts. So let's play our werewolf for now. He's untargetable, which is pretty good. We can thin our Foglet, we can thin our Siren.
Humans, by thus.
Play Fog now. I almost played that on the front row. I always forget that with Woodland Spirit you have to play it on the row that you want to Fog.
I'm a dwarf for business.
There's Cleaver. So let's play this one. I actually maybe should have gotten the Vader Maker just to Owl's Thunder this.
Come to me.
I'm just making sure this is not Blood Moon. Yeah, full moon. I was pretty certain, but not 100%. So the thing is, I could always zap this, but then if I zap it, I'm wasting the Fog.
Fine. If my coin's ranked to ye, go kiss a dog neath its tail.
So we can get one of these, gives us 8 points per turn. This is worth 12. This is worth 2 per turn. This is worth 2 per turn. This is an 8. It's an 8 that's worth 2 per turn. Probably the best show is the 8 worth 2 per turn, right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Whereas if I use the zap here, it's only worth 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is worth 12. Yeah, I think so. So let's do this. Because this will get boosted every time the Moonlight boosts my units.
Swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn.
Or not. So this is then worth 12. Actually, no, more than that. An extra couple points. If he's smart, he won't play something that
The
can be
time
reset.
of the white frost and white light is nigh.
Zaps a 6. I mean, the 6 was the best he could get here. I think we're probably going to just lose. Especially if he manages to have Nova, then we lose. There's nothing I can boost on my side. So that's only a 7-point play. I mean, the weather is a lot, though.
Let us sing the song of steel.
Hey, it's not enough! Because of the 1 point from the Fog. Holy smokes. We beat Handbuff. I mean, having double Cockatrice is good, but we didn't draw Nova yet again in the deck. And we have a lot of bad cards. Like, we haven't managed to brick, but we came pretty close. You know, we've come pretty close to bricking. And we have had dead cards in our hand round 1. Because Moonlight, you don't want to draw. Foglets, you don't want to draw. Ghouls, you don't want to draw till next round. Crones, you only want to draw 1 of. You know, it's a very awkward deck to play. I'm thinking maybe it's something like, you know, take out Caretaker, put in Ghouls. That gives you a little bit more consistency with your golds and your silvers. And potentially look at the Slizzards, I think. Because I get why Slizzard's in here to help you thin the deck, but Slizzard isn't good in round 1, and you don't have ways of killing your own units to make it viable in the same way as you do in, say, Consume decks, where you can just eat a unit and enable your Slizzard. So maybe if you took out the Slizzards and put in... I don't know, that's the hard part, right? Because the thing with monsters is that their bronzes are kind of tricky from a standalone perspective. You know, maybe Recon, actually. You could put in Recon. Recon kind of works in any deck that requires thinning. It's a little bit of a risk because you could pull Foglets, but I actually don't hate that as a strategy. It's just teching in a couple Recons in here in order to give you a bit more consistency with your thinning so that you can maybe find Nova. Plus the Yells would be pretty good. Alternatively, Drowners aren't bad either because you're running Fog. You could implement the Drowners and I think that would be okay as well. Anyway, guys, that was Fan Friday, and if you enjoyed the deck, maybe leave a like on the video. You can always subscribe to the channel for more content. You can find me on Twitter at Jaggerus and on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jaggerus. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you want to submit your deck for Fan Fridays, you can do so by going to the Discord link in the description and posting your deck in the Fan Friday text channel. Shoutouts to Ingsock for the Nova Relic deck today. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. Bye!